MrBeast didn't become the biggest YouTuber in the world because he wanted it more than everyone else. He became the biggest because he understood something most people never figure out. Having a goal matters, but building a system is what actually gets you there. For 3 years, Jimmy Donaldson uploaded videos almost every single day. Gaming content, commentary videos, challenges. And for 3 years, almost nobody watched. After uploading hundreds of videos over 1,000 days, he had fewer than 2,000 subscribers. Most people would have quit. Most people would have said, "This isn't working," and moved on. But Jimmy didn't quit, because he wasn't just chasing a goal. He was building a system. And here's what you need to understand. You're doing the opposite. You set goals, big, ambitious, exciting goals. I want to be successful. I want to build a business. I want to get in shape. And then you wonder why nothing changes. Why you're still in the same place 6 months later, a year later, 5 years later. It's not that goals are bad. They give you direction. But direction without a system is just wishful thinking. James Clear, in his book Atomic Habits, distills it into one sentence. You do not rise to the level of your goals, you fall to the level of your systems. Goals tell you where you want to go. Systems are what actually get you there. The goal points you north. The system is the vehicle that drives, and most people spend their entire lives setting goals and never building the systems that would make those goals inevitable. MrBeast had a goal, become the biggest YouTuber in the world. But he spent 20,000 hours building the system to make it happen, studying YouTube videos frame by frame, analyzing what makes people click, what keeps them watching, what makes them share. He didn't wait for inspiration. He engineered success through a relentless, repeatable process. Every video was a test, every upload was data, every failure was feedback. That's a system, and that system, repeated over years when nobody was watching, is why he's now untouchable. And you have the goal. But you don't have the system. You're focused on the destination while ignoring the vehicle that would take you there. You want MrBeast's results, but you're not willing to build MrBeast's system. By the end of this, you'll understand why goals alone keep you stuck and how to build the systems that actually create change. Let us begin. Here's the math that will change how you see everything. If you get 1% better at something every single day, you don't improve by 365% in a year. You improve by 3,700%. That's the compound effect. That's how small, consistent actions create results that look impossible from the outside. James Clear calls this the fundamental truth of self-improvement. Habits are the compound interest of success. You don't notice the change day to day. The difference between today and yesterday is invisible. But the difference between today and a year ago, unrecognizable. The problem is that most people quit before the compound kicks in. They work for a week, a month, maybe 3 months. And because they don't see massive results, they assume it's not working. They abandon the system right before it would have taken off. MrBeast lived this. His advice to aspiring creators: make 100 videos and improve something small with each video. Doesn't matter what, just improve. Not make one viral video. Not wait for the perfect idea. Just upload, analyze, adjust, repeat. For years, he improved his thumbnails by 1%, his pacing by 1%, his storytelling by 1%. Each change was barely noticeable. But those changes compounded, and when the growth finally came, it didn't come gradually. It exploded. Because that's how compound growth works. It's invisible for a long time, then it's exponential. But here's what makes systems even more powerful than just repetition. Clear explains that the real goal isn't to achieve something, it's to become someone. This is the concept of identity-based habits. You don't want to make videos, you want to become a creator. You don't want to work out once. You want to become someone who works out. Every action you take is a vote for the type of person you want to be. And MrBeast, He didn't just want to be famous, he became a YouTuber. That was his identity. So when nobody was watching, when the views were zero, when it would have been easier to quit, he kept going because that's what YouTubers do. And you? You're still treating your goals like events, like destinations you arrive at and then stop. You want to lose 20 pounds, not become someone who moves their body. You want to launch a business, not become someone who builds things. So you do it for a while, and when the result doesn't come fast enough, you stop, because it was never part of who you are. It was just something you were trying to do. The system doesn't care about your motivation. It doesn't require inspiration. It just runs. And over time, it turns you into the person who gets the results you wanted. There's a moment in every system where it looks like it's failing. You've been working for weeks, months, sometimes years, and the results are nothing. You're putting in the effort, you're showing up, you're doing the work, but the needle isn't moving. This is what James Clear calls the plateau of latent potential. And this is where most people quit. Here's what's actually happening. Imagine an ice cube sitting on a table. The room is 25 degrees. You start heating it. 26 degrees. Nothing. 27 degrees. Still solid. 28, 29, 30 degrees. The ice cube hasn't changed at all. You've been applying heat for a while now, and it looks like nothing is working. But then you hit 32 degrees, and suddenly, the ice melts, all at once. The heat didn't just start working at 32 degrees, it was working the entire time. You just couldn't see it yet. Clear explains that this is how breakthrough moments work. Your work is not wasted during the plateau. It's accumulating. You're not failing, you're loading. And the moment you're about to give up is often right before the compound effect kicks in and everything changes. But most people never get there. They see the plateau and think the system is broken. So they quit. They try something new. And they start the cycle over, never staying long enough to see the breakthrough. MrBeast's first 3 years were the plateau. Uploading daily, studying obsessively, reinvesting every dollar, and getting almost no results. 2,000 subscribers after 1,000 days of work. Think about that. If you started a YouTube channel today and worked on it every single day for 3 years, and after all that effort you had 2,000 subscribers, would you keep going? Most people wouldn't. Most people would say, "This isn't for me," and move on. But MrBeast understood something. The system was working even when the results weren't visible yet. He was in the valley, and he trusted the process long enough to get out of it. You quit in the valley. Every time. You start the diet, the business, the creative project, and when you don't see results in a few weeks, you decide it's not working. You try something else, and you wonder why nothing ever sticks. It's because you keep restarting the clock. You never give the system enough time to compound. You're heating the ice to 30 degrees and then walking away, convinced heat doesn't work. The system works. You just stop too soon. So, how do you build a system that works? James Clear breaks it down into 4 laws. Make it obvious, make it attractive, make it easy, make it satisfying. But the real secret is simpler than that. You stop asking, "What do I want to achieve?" and start asking, "Who do I want to become?" Then you build the daily actions that person would take. Not when you feel like it. Not when you're motivated. Just every day. The same way you brush your teeth. The same way you eat. The system runs whether you're inspired or not. MrBeast didn't do anything you can't do. He didn't have secret advantages. He didn't have funding or connections or a lucky break. He had a goal. Become the biggest YouTuber in the world. And then he built a system. Upload, analyze, improve, repeat. Every single day, for years, through the plateau, through the valley, through the silence. He didn't wait for permission. He didn't wait for proof it would work. He just trusted the math. 1% better every day. Compounding over time. And the results came not because he was special, but because he stayed long enough for the system to work. And you're not different. You're not missing some talent or gift or opportunity that MrBeast had. You're just missing the system. You're still setting goals and hoping. Still waiting for the breakthrough without building the process that creates breakthroughs. Still quitting in the valley because you can't see the progress accumulating beneath the surface. But you don't have to. You can choose differently. You can stop chasing outcomes and start building systems. You can stop asking, when will I get there? And start asking, what did I do today? You can become the person who shows up, does the work, and trusts the compound. Not because you're motivated, not because you're inspired, just because that's who you are now. The system works. You just have to stay in it long enough to see it. The question isn't whether you can build a system, it's whether you're willing to trust it when it looks like it's failing. When nobody's watching, when the results aren't there yet. That's when the system either becomes who you are or becomes another thing you tried and quit. MrBeast stayed. Will you? If this hit differently, there's more. Subscribe for deep dives into the psychology behind success, habits, and why most people stay stuck. No fluff. Just the systems that actually work.